Next up, we have Nick Rumsey of Haverhill Research Park.
Good afternoon. I run Carisbrooke Developments, and we've been developing research and business parks in the corridor for almost 20 years. For the last 12 years, we've been developing in Haverhill, which, if anyone needs reminding, is on the eastern side of the corridor, 14 miles southeast of Cambridge in Suffolk, on the border with Cambridge and Essex. We're on the outer radius of the South Cambridge cluster, 10 miles on the A1307 from the A11, M11 corridor, similarly from Grants Park, Babraham, Chesterford and the Genome campus. Stansted is within 30 miles. Haverhill is a vibrant post-war expansion town with a huge part to play in the further development and integration of the corridor. Its population has grown fivefold since the 60s. In 1962, there were 5,500 residents. The recent census revealed it had grown to 27,000 people. With planned residential development, this should soon increase beyond 30,000. Haverhill is already home to a wide variety of national and international renowned companies. These include Sanofi, IFF, Wisdom Toothbrushes, Sigma Aldridge, Colina, Caro Food Group, and Fig Leaves Lingerie. The announcement by AstraZeneca that it is coming to Cambridge is good news for Haverhill, because we're ready to go with many fully serviced employment sites available to accommodate those support businesses that will undoubtedly accompany them to the region. Currently, a significant proportion of Haverhill residents are commuting to Cambridge or the South Cambridge business parks, whereas they could be working in Haverhill within a best-in-class environment, reducing costs and congestion. All of Haverhill, including our research park, enjoys a Cambridge postcode, CB9. Probably the major USP of the town is that it allows companies to work within close proximity of Cambridge, but at approximately 70% of the Cambridge overhead. For example, whereas in Cambridge, the total property costs of a shell and core laboratory building will probably be between £30 to £37 per square foot. At Haverhill Research Park, it will only be about £22.75. Employment costs are around 13% lower than the national average and 30% lower than Greater London. Residential property costs in Haverhill are already also significantly lower than those locations in the vicinity of the M11. The town recently featured in the Halifax Quality of Life Index as one of the top 10 towns in the country offering the best value for money. Taylor Wimpey thought their 150 residential unit scheme, called the Arboretum, at Haverhill Research Park would take 5 years to sell. 9 months in and over 40 units are sold. I think 3 years is more likely. Only a month ago, St Edmundsbury gave planning approval for a major housing scheme in northwest Haverhill that will provide a further 1,100 dwellings. That's music to the ears of companies looking at whether there's enough housing in the area for their employees. In terms of education, the town has 2 academy schools with growing reputations. One is Ofsted Outstanding and the other very good. During my years of developing in Haverhill, I have been overwhelmed at the can-do mentality of St Edmundsbury Council. Their positive, supportive approach enabled us to unlock the research park, turning it from a concept to a reality. We now have a fully serviced, high-quality, mixed-use development offering a pub, creche, 150 homes, with scope for a hotel and up to 450,000 square feet of office and R&D accommodation open for business. Equally crucial has been the patronage of New Anglia and Greater Cambridge, Greater Peterborough LEPs, whose boundaries uniquely overlap at Haverhill, another USP. They jointly lent us Growing Places money to put our infrastructure in place. We recently obtained planning consent for a new innovation centre, the Epicentre, which will provide a much-needed seedbed space for start-ups, growing businesses, as well as more established companies seeking a satellite in the area. This last Monday, the government announced that via both LEPs, there will be £2 million of grant money towards the construction of this. Thank you. To me, it seems as though the time has come for some of the towns on the fringes of the corridors, such as Haverhill, to shine. We all know that there are currently very few sites available in and around Cambridge, and that Cambridge land costs and residential prices cannot compete with the towns on the edge of the county. Haverhill is already well located, but with these cost differentials, there is a massive logic to upgrading the A1307 to a dual carriageway standard from the A11 to Haverhill. This idea is starting to be taken seriously, with South Cambs and Suffolk County Council commissioning a survey to test the traffic trips. So in our view, the future is looking very rosy for Haverhill within the London, Stansted, Cambridge corridor. It has the housing or provision for it, it has the employment sites, and in the foreseeable future, it could have tremendously improved road communications. We look forward to playing our part. Thank you.